It's Lights Camera Jackson. Welcome to LCJ Live. Today is Sunday, November 19, 2023. It's our last show before Thanksgiving. We're back after 2 weeks. And last Sunday, I was at the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards in New York City, which was a lot of fun. We're back here doing what we do best every Sunday, which is talk about the box office, the breaking news, which is, in this case, that The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, is your number one movie with $44 million. That is significantly lower than what the previous Hunger Games movies opened to from 2012 to 2015. It's also lower than what the Marvels opened to just last weekend, which was considered a huge disappointment, and it is. That was about $46 million. So this is even lower than that. Lionsgate thought they could revamp this franchise in a prequel format. I don't like the movie much at all. A little bit interesting early on, but then it hits a wall and it is completely boring from then on. Not a good film. I don't think anybody, not a lot of people, my age, who were in their teens, even 10, 12 years old, who went to the first four Hunger Games movies, are excited now to go see this. And I don't think the 10 to 18-year-old crowd today is very excited to see this new Hunger Games movie. So, yeah, $44 million. It is your winner for the weekend, but Lionsgate has to be going, was it worth it? Was it worth it to revamp the Hunger Games franchise for just a $44 million start? That's much less than John Wick Chapter 4, which is the biggest movie of the year so far for Lionsgate, with $170-something million, or $180-something million, I think. So, yeah, this is not going to do that. Will it even break $100 million? It'll probably make a little more money over Thanksgiving. The last two Hunger Games movies benefited from a Thanksgiving start, but also didn't do quite as well as the first two Hunger Games. So, yeah, not a great open for the Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. By the way, I've got SpongeBob and Patrick here with me in the Patty, and guess what? Today is the 19th anniversary of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. It opened today, November 19, 2004, in theaters. A major ocean picture indeed. I love the SpongeBob movie. And SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, the follow-up, Sponge on the Run, and there's a new one coming. It keeps getting delayed, but we know we're getting a new theatrical SpongeBob movie in a couple years. That should be a lot of fun, but happy 19 years to the first SpongeBob SquarePants movie. All right, next up, Trolls Band Together. That's your number two movie with $30.6 million. I think DreamWorks is happy with that. That is basically double what Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken made in its entire run this summer. So DreamWorks is happy. Yeah, it's not a number one open. Yeah, it's about $16 million behind what the first Trolls opened to back in 2016. You had Trolls World Tour go straight to VOD in 2020 early on because of the pandemic. Now, Trolls actually had preview showings November 4, added $1.2 million to that, so technically it has made $31.8 million so far. I think this has a shot at getting to $100 million. The question is, how big of competition is Disney's Wish, which opens Tuesday? Two animated movies, major releases, major studios in theaters at the same time. And are they gonna, battle each other out? They will. And what are the families going to be interested in seeing? Are they going to want to go see Trolls? Are they going to want to go see Wish over the holiday? So, and the long weekend, kids have school off. Kids will be going to school Monday, Tuesday, and then going to the movies potentially Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be big. Also, Netflix, as counter-programming, has the new animated movie Leo, which is also very good. And that's on Netflix starting Tuesday. Netflix figured, hey, kids are out of school after Tuesday afternoon. Something to watch at home on Tuesday night would be Leo. So that's where we're at. We'll see what happens. We'll see how much money Wish is going to make this week. Napoleon opens this week. Joaquin Phoenix, Ridley Scott. 2 years ago, Ridley Scott had House of Gucci, which made about $54 million total. It wasn't a gigantic hit and only got one Oscar nomination. Those are the two big theatrical releases this week, going up against week 2 of Hunger Games and Trolls. You've got some other movies, like I said, Leo. Maestro opens in select theaters. I have seen Maestro. I didn't love it. The Boy and the Heron is in select theaters. They shot The Piano Player as well, New York and LA, next Friday, this Friday coming up, November 24. And Leave the World Behind, also from Netflix, opens in select theaters on Wednesday. That's with Julia Roberts and Kevin Bacon. The Bad Guys, A Very Bad Holiday is a new DreamWorks special premiering November 30th on Netflix. My conversation with the makers is available tomorrow at lcj.podbean.com and animationscoop.com. Let's get to the rest of the box office before I talk about my exclusive news on the Bikeriders. So tying for third is The Marvels and Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving, Sony put out the 10.2 million first, and then Disney was like, we can't be fourth. We got to tie for third. So they're going with 10.2 million. For the Marvels, I think Thanksgiving will end up coming in third and the Marvels will come in fourth. I really do. But they wanted that for now. The Marvels with a 75% plus drop is gigantic. Oh my gosh, this is a flop for Disney and Marvel. Then you have Five Nights at Freddy's, which added 3.5 million. It's at 132.6. Again, majority of that came from opening weekend. 80 million bucks of that, 132 came from opening weekend, but it is still a massive hit for Universal and Blumhouse. 2.7 million more for The Holdovers, one of the best movies of the year. Paul Giamatti is outstanding. 2.7 million, it's at 8.4. Go see The Holdovers if it's playing near you. Speaking of flops, Next Goal Wins, just 2.5 million this weekend. It is a terrible movie. Saw it a couple weeks ago. Mike Sargent and I review it on a new episode of the Too Fast, Two Films podcast coming soon to toofast2films.com. We review Next Goal Wins. We also review The Killer. It's our Michael Fassbender double feature we talk about on Too Fast, Two Films. The Killer is available on Netflix. I think it's pretty good, not great. But Next Goal Wins, it's a bad movie, and nobody wanted to go see it this weekend, clearly. Taika Waititi, is he a one-hit wonder? Was Jojo Rabbit his one-hit wonder? He'll be an Academy Award winner for the rest of his life, but I'm starting to think maybe that's the case. 2.4 million for Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour. It's up to $175.3 million. It's past Indiana Jones. Taylor Swift has made more money than Indiana Jones. Wow. Then we've got Priscilla. Priscilla made 2.3 million this weekend. It's still making good money for Sofia Coppola film, which her biggest being Lost in Translation. I think this passes Marie Antoinette to become the second biggest Sofia Coppola movie ever. The Beguiled did not make a lot of money back in 2017. Priscilla with 2.3. It's at $17 million for A24. Go see Priscilla if you haven't seen it yet. I highly recommend that, as well as The Holdovers. And then rounding out your top 10 this weekend is Killers of the Flower Moon, which added 1.9 million. It's at 63.6. Of course, so we're getting into award season, and Apple and Paramount really wanted to get a bunch of nominations. As we found out the other day, the Golden Globes will air on CBS on January 7th. Then the Critics' Choice Awards, January 14th on the CW. SAG Awards, BAFTAs, Annie Awards, Oscars, our Independent Spirit Awards are after that. I think the Spirit Awards nominations are December 5. The Golden Globe nominations, December 11. Critics' Choice nominations, December 13. In limited release, Dream Scenario added 276,000. It's at 609,000. I saw it last Sunday. Like the first half, not a fan of the second half. Think it overstates its welcome. Doesn't know what to do. Doesn't know how to end it well. Nicolas Cage's game. He's all in. Funny early on. Michael Cera has a good scene early on with Nicolas Cage. Not a fan of the directions that the movie goes. I think it loses its momentum pretty quickly. Saltburn, which I'm looking forward to seeing this week, opened in 7 theaters, $45,000 per screen average. That's $315,000 this weekend. It's the follow-up to Promising Young Woman for writer-director Emerald Fennell. Rosamund Pike's getting some awards buzz. The movie is MGM Amazon behind it. Looking forward to seeing that this week, along with Wish, Napoleon, and maybe Leave the World Behind as well. And some of the other big award season contenders. One of the films that will not be an award season contender is The Bikeriders, which Disney in 20th Century originally had set for December 1st. Last month, they pulled it. They took it off the schedule. At the time, the SAG strike was still going on. So that was the reasoning behind taking it off. They didn't think they would be able to have the actors promoted enough. They didn't want to release it. They didn't want it out there for that. But now, in my exclusive reporting that I posted Friday and telling you here now on LCJ Live once again, The Bikeriders, according to my Disney representative source, has told me, and I quote, the film is not eligible for the 2023 awards season. Plain and simple. The movie is not being released. It will not be considered. They do not want it being considered by critics. Critics' Choice Awards nominations voting deadline's December 8. We get our ballots next Friday, December 1. I had to know, and many other people have to know, hey, is a link or a disc of the Bikeriders coming? Should we be considering this movie? Plain and simple, the film is not eligible for this award season, meaning the Oscars, all the award shows, no. Even though it is played at several film festivals, and many critics and many members of the association have seen it, it is not a 2023 release. It is not going to be nominated by any organization unless Disney makes a last-minute reversal on this and decides to put it out. My thought was, okay, they took it off the calendar, and then the SAG strike is over now, and so maybe what they could do is they could give it a week-long run in Los Angeles. That's really all it needs. They could open it on Christmas Day. They could open it December 30 or December 31. Last year, A Man Called Otto opened in 4 theaters on December 30. It is a 2022 movie. It was considered for last award season. It cannot be considered for this award season. They could open it for a week and then go wide anytime they want, January or February, but Disney doesn't even want to do that, which surprises me. But there has to be reasoning behind it. Maybe it's because of the actors' commitments, the promotion, the campaigning that would have to be involved. But it is not on their for your consideration website anymore. It was at one time. It is no longer there. And as the representative confirmed to me, the film is not eligible. It will not be released. So it will open at some point next year in a time to be determined. And it could be considered for next award season. I mean, there are many movies at film festivals. I know Anna Kendrick's film about the dating game and some others screened at some film festivals and are technically 2023 movies, but are not going to be put out until 2024. So they cannot be considered for this award season because their official release date did not happen. In order to qualify for the Academy Awards and all the others, you have to open for a certain number of days, usually 7, in a certain number of places, usually just 1. Hollywood, I know they made some additional requirements this year, so maybe it had to play in some more places. But the Bikeriders is not coming out, as of this moment, before the end of the year, anywhere, and cannot be considered for award season. It is not eligible. So there you go. From my exclusive reporting, the Bikeriders will not be released this year as of this moment in time. Could Disney make a reversal? Yes, but they are running out of time to make that switch. I think it's locked in. Could they still do it? But they got to make that announcement very soon. Matthew Warshauer, thanks for watching here on LCJ Live. Favorite for Oscar's Best Picture for this coming year, I assume you're asking. I love The Holdovers. I think The Holdovers is fantastic. Do I think it's going to win? No. I know the buzz is strong out of the screenings the other day for The Color Purple. I think The Color Purple is gaining momentum. I also don't feel like Killers of the Flower Moon is the Best Picture winner. I would almost bet more on Oppenheimer winning than I would Killers of the Flower Moon. Barbie will get nominated. If Barbie wins, wow, what a moment that would be. So if I had to bet on it today, see, it's tough because Oppenheimer came out so long ago and skews older, and I think a movie that could skew a little younger could be Color Purple. I know there's other contenders. There's some I still have to see. American Fiction, which I'm going to be seeing soon, is supposedly very good. I've heard very good things about American Fiction. It won the Toronto International Film Festival Audience Award, so that to me is a legitimate contender. I hope people consider The Holdovers a contender. I just don't know if it's going to be mass appeal strong enough to win Best Picture. There's so much involved. There's still so much time before the Academy Award for Best Picture is announced on March 10th, which is way too late. But if I had to bet on it today, that Color Purple buzz told me a little something, that it could be one of the 3 or 4 major contenders. I also think Oppenheimer's up there. I also think you have to put Barbie in that 3 or 4. I really do. So Oppenheimer, Barbie, Color Purple. I mean, I'm probably missing 1 or 2. Maestro. See, I didn't love Maestro. I really don't think Maestro can win. I really don't. The The performances are fine, but the arc isn't really good. Its tone is uneven. It's really boring in spots. It's just these conversations about two egomaniacs talking about each other, and to others. I don't see that having mass audience appeal. I think it's a critical darling to some, not to everyone, including me. But I think when audiences watch it on Netflix around Christmas time, they're going to be like, what was this? That didn't do a lot for me. I really think people are going to have that reaction. So I don't think Maestro can win. I really don't. I think Oppenheimer, Barbie, and The Color Purple. Killers of the Flower Moon, I don't see winning either. There's too much controversy behind it for it to win. Those are the three I'm thinking at this exact moment in time. Again, I'm probably missing a couple. I just want to check here to see if I'm missing something, crazy. Anatomy of a Fall is a very good film. And American Fiction. American Fiction's got a lot of buzz behind it. I haven't seen Poor Things with Emma Stone. She's getting a lot of Best Actress attention, but is it a Best Picture winner? I'm not sure. I'd love The Holdovers to be, in the conversation. Past Lives is an okay film. I'm going to go right now. My central Best Picture Oscar predictors: Oppenheimer, Barbie, The Color Purple, American Fiction. And maybe I'd throw The Holdovers in the number 5 spot. I don't see Maestro. I don't see Poor Things. I really don't. And I don't see Killers of the Flower Moon winning. So there you go. Those are my picks for Best Picture right now. Obviously, there's going to be 10 nominees, not 5. The BAFTAs is always interesting now that it's just 5 nominees for Best Picture for the BAFTAs versus Critics' Choice having 10 and the Oscars having 10 and the Golden Globes having 2 categories and SAG being ensemble, not necessarily movie. So it's really interesting. I think Independent Spirit is still 5 for Best Picture, I think. But it's really interesting, the BAFTAs with just 5 Best Picture nominees. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on where we're at with that, with the Bikeriders, with the box office, and with my reviews of the latest movies and interviews. Everything you can get. LCJ. It's at lights-camera-jackson.com. Twitter at LCJ Reviews. Instagram at lightscamjackson. YouTube.com/lightscamerajackson. AnimationScoop.com. If you want a copy of my holiday book, My Very Rocky Christmas for the Family, it's on Amazon. Part of the proceeds go to the Nature Conservancy Plant a Billion Trees campaign. When we're back here next Sunday, we will see what wins the weekend. Is it Wish? Is it Napoleon? Is it Hunger Games or Trolls? Do you think we get a Concussion 2 at some point, says Have Mad? The way Will Smith's career's going, I'm not sure. And Concussion didn't make a lot of money either. But it's a good... I liked the movie when it came out in 2015. Albert Brooks is in it. Albert Brooks' documentary is on Max right now. When we're back here next Sunday, we'll find out what won the weekend. We'll get into more award season talk. We'll see what's opening for the first weekend of December and more. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of LCJ Live. I hope you and your family have a good Thanksgiving, safe, happy, healthy holiday season, and I'll see you soon for more LCJ Live. Bye-bye.